Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and today I'm reacting to more Ren. This time it's the tale of Jenny and Screech. And I have to say I'm so incredibly humbled by the amount of support that I received on my Seven Sins reaction and analysis. I'm blown away by the Renegades. You guys are really amazing and I'm so happy that you enjoyed the reaction. I do my best to give as transparent of takes as I can and, go a little bit past the lyrics a little bit and try to actually understand how this art fits into our world. And Ren does a wonderful job at making that easy for me, but I'm glad you enjoyed it and I'm here to give you more of that content. So if you enjoy my reaction, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. And without further ado, let's just get into it. Ooh. The way he plays with tempo. Oh. It's like a mouth trumpet.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny walked alone, she was dragging her feet. She was heading back home to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, because she walked it about 1,000 times before she wanted to escape. Can you blame?
Oh, it's so pretty.
Well, on the very same night, in a different place, there walked this hooded young youth by the name of James. He was 14 years old and out of his brain. He'd been smoking ganja with the boys.
Oh, is this Screech?
James, he grew up to be a kid of the street. His mates called him Screech. He was quick on his feet. He was a liar, a thief. At 14 years old, the devil had set his sights on his soul.
Oh my God.
Jenny walked.
I have so many thoughts. I'm going to try to remember them all and go through them. But oh my God, the guitar playing, it really just puts me immediately into like a Game of Thrones setting where we're in this massive banquet dining hall, the king on one side, the queen on the other, huge food being placed on all of the tables. Everybody's having a good time. Ren, the bard he is, in the corner playing the song, entrancing the audience with his music and his stories to tell. I mean, then he goes into this amazing, beautiful mouth trumpet, which I don't know how he does that. It literally sounds like a bit of a trumpet, a bit of a bugle. Combining those two with the guitar and all of that classical elements and the medieval elements I'm feeling, already just superb and very interesting to listen to. And then he goes into this whole tirade, I'll say, this narration of the story of Jenny and I guess the story of Screech here. Oh, did you notice how he changed the guitar style, the guitar chords, and the actual emphasis he was using for Jenny's part there, for Screech's part in the second bit of that? Really, there's so many things going on at once. And then another thing about the guitar is the fact that he plays so much with the tempo of the guitar, right? He goes at a normal pace, a normal cadence, dot, 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 and then he speeds it up, dot, dot, dot. Like, you'll hear all of these changes in his playing. Man, what a genius. Rhythmically, lyrically, narratively, like, there's so many things going on.
James, he grew up to be a kid of the street. His mates called him Screech. He was quick on his feet. He was a liar, a thief. At 14 years old, the devil had set his sights on his soul.
So it's like this Screech part is like aggressive, which I'm assuming matches the Screech personality. And then we'll probably go to the Jenny part where it's just like nice and chill and docile and pretty, Really cool. I love that he matches the music with the personality. He even did that in High Ren, right? It's such a clever way to tell the story. What an amazing guy.
As Jenny walked home all alone, she felt scared. Usually she was alright, but it was like there was something in the air. A divine intervention telling her to beware, maybe intuition bugging her and making her so scared. Sirens sounded in the distance with the beat of Jenny's feet. A symphony of...
And you know what I'm just realizing now is that this is, I think, so far all in one take. And not only is it in one take, you can hear all of the ambient background noise, like when the guitar touches his jacket when he's bending his back against the wall. I love that. I love that they don't just take out all of these random noises. I think that adds to the masterpiece that is this so far. I think when you take a lot of those things, you strip all of the reality away. You just kind of create this generic cookie cutter product and less of a actual art experience. We don't get that grime, that grit that you get when you make a mistake, for example.
Of the night that echoes crime on London streets. Jenny turns a corner, their eyes they meet. Our poor girl Jenny, a boy named Screech. Give me all your money, bitch, give it to me. If you cooperate, then you'll soon be free. I want your purse, your phone, don't fucking look at me. I mean it, bitch, are you listening to me? Jenny freezes statue like a lady shakes stalactite. Feel like liquid nitrogen in the dark night. She tried to find strength to move, but stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. What the hell you playing at? You playing...
Ren, again, he's such a good actor, too. So not only is he changing the guitar style for Jenny and for Screech, he's changing his voice to match what Screech's voice, and inherent in the name of Screech, he's yelling at her. He's being aggressive and pugnacious, trying to literally rob her, seemingly. And then you go back to Jenny's voice, and it's calm and kind of a little bit anxious and scared and docile again. What a crazy juxtaposition. It makes it obvious which section is which and who's the person's perspective that we're taking in any given moment. It's just really clever. And then I wanted to speak on some of the lyrics there, because I really think Ren can just paint a very precise and vivid picture. I can literally see the cobblestone streets that they're fighting in currently, that it's late in London night, that she's scared stiff, and that he's aggressively after her. It's truly just remarkable, all of the different moving elements that Ren is mastering and able to perfectly deliver to us on a silver platter. Another feather in Ren's cap.
Stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. What the hell you playing at? You playing games with me? I swear to fucking God, I'll slice the rosy off your cheeks. You think I don't mean it, girl? You don't know me. The last thing you see will be a boy code. Screech, reach with the sheep, the blade with the teeth.
Wow, did you catch what Ren just did right there? It's really subtle, actually. So he sets up this line here: the last thing you see will be a boy called, and then he waits, and then he gives the punchline, the name Screech, at the beginning of the next phrase. So let's listen to that again and see if you notice what I'm talking about.
Last thing you see will be a boy called. Screech, reach with the sheets,
starts on the
blade
next bit.
With the teeth that could
So
bite
clever.
through steel and slice concrete, and he swung possessed with the devil in his chest, and the statue she was turned to butter in her breath.
So, oh no.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street, somewhere in London City.
It's back to the narrator voice.
Jenny lay still on the cold concrete. She's found somewhere to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, 'cause she'd walked it about 1,000 times before. I guess that she escaped.
Oh.
It's such a shame.
Oh. Oh, and that chord. Okay. Oh my God. So, Screech basically, in this failed robbery attempt, and it just blew out of proportion, got out of control, kills Jenny. Poor thing. Such a shame, as Ren says. And then he uses the line, "I guess she escaped." That is such a dark twist to the idea of her living in the city. And it seemed from the beginning, I didn't want to say it because I wasn't sure, but it seemed like Jenny was hesitant with being in the city, wasn't really comfortable, right? She felt some strangeness in the air. Even though she walked those streets 1,000 times, the home that she was inhabiting doesn't really necessarily feel like home if you can't feel safe there. So if, in my estimation, she probably wanted to leave London at some point or be elsewhere. The fact that she escaped through death, through being victimized by the place that she used to call home, or that she calls home, is an ultimate tragedy. It's such a shame, right? Oh, what a vivid picture. Because you can imagine this happens all the time in real life, right? People are stuck in circumstances that they had no say in. They were just kind of born there. They were forced there because of financial restrictions, because of family obligations, whatever it may be. And now they're victimized by the environment that they didn't necessarily want to be a part of. You can work tirelessly. You can put in your best effort. You can just peacefully try to cohabitate and exist, and you will still be unnecessarily victimized. And it's just, Such a shame. All right, let's go. So we're in the, that was the Jenny section. Let's go into the Screech section now. We're back in the medieval vibe, the castle. These chromatic notes. Oh, that was crisp. Ooh. Oh. I feel like we're galloping. It's so raw. Oh God, you can hear the emotion with his playing through the guitar. As a guitar player myself, I always find it impressive when a guitarist isn't doing the most, let's say, like flashy thing, like playing a million notes within a solo, for example. It's when they take the few notes that they're actually playing and making every note count, right? You can even hear the differences in pitch, and because of the under processing here, we just hear Ren's raw playing, and you can hear even between certain notes he's getting quieter, he's getting louder, increasing the dynamic range, lowering the decibels on the low notes, increasing the hits on those high notes that he wants us to feel those impacts. It's really difficult to do it precisely. So if I were to ever, try to cover that section, to match it 1-to-1 is really hard. And I can imagine even for Ren it would be hard because he's just giving it his shot in one performance. So I don't know. You just hear that when you listen to. Okay, this is a side point, and I'll get back into the reaction. But whenever an artist is replaying a song of their own, let's say it's an acoustic version of a song that they produced before, you get to experience that song in a way that is very different than the original experience, right? It's kind of an obvious thing to say, but it gives an entirely new meaning to the song. So maybe we hear this beginning acoustic section for Screech's part in this manner, and then on stage live, he plays it in an entirely different way. And that's just the beauty of performance. And Ren always captivates with his performances. The same story, I bet you can feel a different way about it if he plays those notes in a different manner with different volume, different pitch parameters, if he uses bends, if he uses pinch harmonics, you name it, right? It's just really impressive. So I wanted to give him some more props. Ren is a fabulous, magnificent guitar player amongst all of his other accolades. Okay.
Our story, it starts right at the end of the life of poor Jenny, clocked out like Big Ben.
You hear the double, Big Ben, the clock tower in London, clocked out like Big Ben, like she took the L, she's down for the count. Really, I mean, he's got the lyrics, he's got the bars, right? And I also like that the story starts at the end. That's just a nice, fun little twist on what is normally narration.
Jenny clocked out like Big Ben. This Screech, dear boy, where did he go?
He's like screaming.
He melted into the black night just like snow.
Oh my God, what are those notes? No, 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 no. Like he just like descends into this like black pit, but comes from like this like cool like harmonic run. It's just interesting. It's so interesting. You never know what to expect with anything that's going on here. Really cool. Gosh.
Patrick, man, let me in. Please open the door. I think I fucked up, Patrick. Really fucked up, man. I'm not sure. I got crazy. Left this lady lying still on the floor. I think I killed her, Patrick. Come on, man. I can't knock no more.
Oh my God. It's so clever. It is so clever to use his guitar as a prop, as an instrument, but also as a prop to push the story along. He's knocking on the guitar. Oh, it paints the image perfectly. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed.
I think I killed her, Patrick. Come on, man. I can't knock no more. But Screech kept on knocking till his knuckles became sore. But there's no sign of Patrick down at number 54. No refuge.
And now we're back into this other section. So again, whenever we hear Screech, it's very aggressive. It's dun 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 dun. It's very hard style when he's playing on the acoustic, and then he goes back into this very pretty melodic portion when he's narrating.
saw. But there's no sign of Patrick down at number 54. No refuge for our villain, for the bitter hands of fate, with something far more sinister in mind. Does away.
Oh, that chord though. You can hear the ambient noise. He's breathing. That's so cool. So cool.
Hey babe, you in? Nah, nothing really, I'm just a bit tired. Listen, can I swing around yours for a few moments? I just really miss you, babe. What the fuck do you mean you're busy? You fucking bitch! For fuck's sakes!
What a good actor.
Siren sounds approaching like a banshee in the night. The shrill cry of justice cutting like the sharpest knife.
Oh,
But Screech was never...
I like that line a lot. I want to... So the shrill cry of justice, cutting like the sharpest knife. So he's basically treating justice as like an actual person in this sentence here. The cry of justice. So justice is something that is equitable, something that is fair, and when justice cries, it is shrill. It's a, and you can hear like it's kind of like they're relating to Jenny being killed, and this is her cry, right? And cutting, so referencing the knife that he used, the sharpest knife to end Jenny's life. Just really clever, honestly. And then we'll just go.
The shrill cry of justice cutting like the sharpest knife. But Screech was never one to run, not one to miss a fight. One hand upon his blade, he turned to face the blue lights.
No, don't do it.
Come on then, you fucking cunts, let's fucking have you then. I am Screech, I'm the boss, I'm the ender of men. You think that uniform you're wearing...
Is that a Minecraft bar? The ender of men, Enderman? Please tell me it is.
Screech, I'm the boss, I'm the ender of men. You think that uniform you're wearing means that you own these streets? These are my fucking streets, and they call me fucking Screech. Richard was an officer who stood at 6'3", working London on the night shift. What he didn't think he'd see was a boy running at him like an animal possessed. With no time to hesitate, he fired 4 bullets at Screech's chest.
Oh, no way. 2, 3. It's so clever. The guitar as a gun, and he strums with each hit. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 bullets. Oh, it's so smart.
Story, it ends right to the start. Young Screech and poor Jenny lying 1 street apart.
Oh, wow.
An officer shaken by the boy that he claimed. 2 bodies lay lifeless, and it's such a shame.
Yeah, such a shame.
It's such a shame.
Oh, LeBron, just show off, bro. That chord, I'm like fanboying over everything. That run, the chord at the end, such a shame. Again, we were like looping back to the previous such a shame when Jenny took the L. Like I feel like I need to like pause for a second to continue the reaction. There's so much going on. I want to hear that last part again here. Oh, and then I'll hear the last part again, and I wanted to comment on the fact that he paints such a good image. They're lying 1 street apart now. So Screech goes out, murders her, and on 1 street, and now we saw the story. We saw him running around town calling people, trying to knock on their doors for help and assistance, and realizing at the end he doesn't have anybody. The cops are on their way, they're gonna catch him. He faces the music and then dies on the other side of the city. And the fact that they're 1 street apart really just tells you how close in proximity this is all happening, right? And not only proximally close, but like when you have randomized crime in your city, like, you know, I was from Chicago, so when crime happens in Chicago, you never necessarily know where it is, but it potentially is always around the corner. And that's a bit of the danger when you're living in big cities like that. You just don't know. There's so many people from all walks of life, from all different means, with all different ideas of how best to operate in the world. Sometimes innocents will be victimized, and that's clearly what's happened here. And even in the end, Screech dying too is another tragedy. It's just another shame. So we had the shame and the tragedy of Jenny dying, and now Screech as well. Let's see what... So it ends here, and there's a Violet section. So I guess let's get into the Violet section. Not sure what that's about. back in the medieval setting. Oh, oh wow. Now we're in a hospital. Ooh. I'm galloping. My squire is behind me. He is a bard. Oh. Oh. Show off. Show off, son. That is so hard to do. Wow, wow, wow. Oh. That is so hard to do. Oh my god, people don't understand how hard that is on guitar, especially acoustic guitar, to produce the sound he's doing, because people usually do that tapping technique with their right finger or right hand and the left finger and their left hand on electric guitars, right? Because you can do anything with the amp, you can produce larger sounds with a smaller force. On an acoustic guitar, when that's all you have, you just have the sound from your guitar, you have to produce the force with your fingers so precisely. You have to have a lot of strength here. And then in addition to that, you have to be hella precise. You can't be missing notes. Otherwise, we would be hearing that, and maybe you do multiple takes, right? But you have to do everything accurately and with enough emphasis that you can hear all of these notes. It's really hard. So I just wanted to shout out Ren for being able to do that technique without messing up here. It's really cool. Really cool. Wow. I love this voice that he does. The ooze. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are those notes? Oh my god. I love when he does this, and he does this like descending chromatic, the do 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 do. Wow. It's so haunting. Haunting. That's the way to say it.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beats and bloodstains, she saw a lady weep. She's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's tale.
Rewind? Oh. Wait. Okay, hold on. That's so cool. That is so cool. He says to set the tale, so I guess the Jenny and Screech altercation occurred in 2005, if I have that time right. And then he wants to send the time back for more context to Violet's tale, which is, I guess, this third portion of the song here. And to get there, to rewind the hands of time, he does this like this is like kind of like mini like arpeggiated chromatic run on the guitar that almost simulates what you would feel like when you're going through a time vortex to get to some past event, right? Like it just feels like you're, I don't know, it's the perfect sound effect for it. That's so smart. That's so smart. Like this right here. Ah.
Violet was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took her tie but never left the room. I'll spare you with the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew.
Oh.
Violet was a silent girl, she...
So far what I'm understanding is that Violet has two parents. They're dysfunctional, they're violent, they're abusive as hell. And as a consequence, she's silent. She doesn't know how to guard against that. But as a downstream consequence, she's also violent. So Violet is violent. Very, very clever there, Ren. Also, I just realized the beginning of each of these three sections, Ren has played his acoustic guitar as just the sole intro. Really cool. I love the parallelism across these three sections in the song. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to praise.
I'm sure her mother knew Violet was a silent girl. She moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent...
Can I say that I love this acoustic guitar that Ren is playing? The fact that there are no other instruments, not a drum in sight, not a bass in sight. There's hardly any other sound effects other than like him walking around in this environment and his guitar and his voice. Like, it's so much talent to do what he is doing. It hurts how much talent he has. I love the notes that he picks too. I have a great affection towards the minor scale and the harmonic minor scale. So if you ever hear this like sharp seventh from the natural minor scale to the harmonic minor scale, just know that that note does something to my soul. And I'll try to point it out when it does happen. It's a good note. It's a really good note.
Go stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent girl and Violet she fell fast. See, Stevie was a wrong un, but he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he took her tight, but never left the room. History repeats itself, he paint her black and blue and dark. She never stood a chance. The devil comes to dance. Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes, but her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, why are you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone.
I'm having chills all over the place. I'm realizing a lot of things and I'm having some predictions and I'll try to make them succinct enough for you all to understand where my brain is heading with this right now. But when he was initially introing Violet, he described her parents as dysfunctional, violent, abusive, right? And so naturally, a kid who grows up in such an environment is going to be a little bit messed up for a number of reasons. And oftentimes, those same children end up repeating the cycle of their parents because that's the example that they knew as a child. It naturally makes sense. If you see your parents who are supposed to be caretakers for you, who are supposed to guide you through the world, you're going to adopt those same mannerisms and same patterns and behaviors with your partner down the line. So the fact that Violet ended up with somebody who is beating her black and blue, it's so sad, and yet it makes so much sense. The pattern repeats itself. She never stood a chance. It's haunting.
Things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's black bone crack, knick knack, paddywhack, one to the jaw and the tooth spat, detached fist connects and disconnects a bone.
Oh wow.
Quick deflect to misdirect the blow, wow. But nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I want to do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh my God. Like, he described Violet early on as silent but violent, and now she's silent and she remains silent after this brutal beatdown, brutal assault from Stevie. And then let's comment on Ren's performance and playing, because again, he goes into this like dun 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 dun. This is like a rapper cadence. He's going into like literally rap at certain points. So I love that he can just like jump between styles, jump between like a narration to a sing song melodically, then into this like rapping style. All the while I'm like bobbing my head, but it's such a weird thing to do because the images he's describing, and that's why I felt like such a contradiction internally, is I'm bobbing my head along because the dun 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 dun, the strumming pattern when he hits on the guitar, dun 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 dun. At the same time, he's beating her, and my head's bobbing, and it's such a how does he do that? It reminds me, and this isn't a one-to-one analogy, but if any one of you have ever listened to "Dance with the Devil" by Immortal Technique, to me, it's one of the craziest songs that's out there. You like enjoy the music, but the lyrics are haunting, and it's like a weird ripping of your own soul apart is how it feels, because you don't want to like the song because of how terrible the story is, but it's so beautiful melodically, rhythmically. I feel the same here. This is ridiculous.
Silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence. Wait. Say something, Violet.
Oh, poor girl.
Not one word. She stays quiet. London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive. The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets. Two twins lying side by side. A girl named Jenny.
Oh my God.
And a boy named Screech.
Do you see? I don't know if you can even see in the... Oh my God. I had the feeling that somehow, like, I mean, it makes sense, right? Just why would you randomly bring up Jenny and Screech and then a third person, Violet, if there's no connection? But I had the feeling that they were somehow related, Jenny and Screech. And the way the story went, they had nothing to do with each other. And in the end, Screech kills Jenny. Screech is killed by the police. And then when we rewind the clocks, we realize they were both twins coming from a mother who had a dysfunctional childhood from her parents, who then had a terrible relationship with Stevie, who killed her, and then gave birth to the oh my God, all of the layers. So it's basically 3 generations of violence. You had the dysfunctional parents of Violet. I should sit up, right? Yeah, the dysfunctional parents of Violet, who were abusive, who were terrible for one another, and made Violet's life a hell. Abused her, didn't treat her right, and then Violet grew up being silent, but violent, naturally, right? The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So then Violet finds a person who matches her. Stevie. She's like the alter ego, the yin to the yang, and she's matching what happened with her childhood with her parents, right? That's how it goes. It's the cycle repeats, as Ren said. And the fact that Violet dies at the hands of Stevie, and gives birth to twins who I'm assuming again are separated at birth at this point, and then fight, and then Screech kills the other twin, and then it's all such a shame. It's all such a... Oh my god, there's so much going on here. I think 30 plus minutes into this reaction, my mind is like torn apart right now. Wow, I'll give you broad strokes of what I thought about the song. I think there's so many things in the reaction that I gave that should give you some inkling as to what I think, but wow, what what a master Ren is, right? Creating this three-part story in a way that you feel like the two are disconnected at first. It's just happenstance that these two people found one another and fought in the street and ended up with their deaths, right? Their untimely demises, but they were connected all along. And some fleeting thought that I had was the fact that when you are in a city, when you do have generations that pass on, you are part of the environment. But again, if you're separated, there's a lot of senseless violence that can happen. And that's why, you can imagine like back in tribalistic times of life or living, people, they have a tight community. There's bonds that are formed and persist over time. And when people come in, invaders, others trying to enter your society, you kind of guard against that, or at least you vet them very heavily. And you're able to keep one another in check and have a very fluid and safe society. In this case, what we see is the dissolution of all of these families, right? The parents of Violet and Stevie herself, and the kids are always the victims, right? You had Jenny, a senseless victim at the end of it, and then Screech, a perpetrator, but also a victim, because in the end he dies and tragically passes as well. So really, everyone in this generational chain lost. Violet's parents lost, Violet lost, Stevie lost, Screech lost, Jenny lost. And that's why it's such a shame. It's just a perpetual generational tragedy. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Take care, and peace.